Namastu.
Namastu.
Which means the divinity within me recognizes and bows to the divinity within you. My name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Ka-Hun, Anku, and as always, we are welcoming those of you that may be viewing this Sunday service, this weekly Sunday service through Facebook, to come down to historic Baintown any Sunday at 9 a.m. for our weekly Sunday service. On Tuesday nights, we are on Zoom from 6:30 to around 9. We don't have to drive home, so sometimes maybe a little later than 9. But we encourage you to join us on our free Zoom classes here in the Bahamas. Also on Wednesdays and Sundays, Wednesdays we are on the Darbar Sesh, out of Hotel Talk. And on Wednesdays we begin at what, 6 o'clock on Wednesdays on Zoom. And then on Sundays, we are starting at 2 o'clock with our bar session. Today at 2 o'clock we'll be on with our bar session on the Hotel Talk. On Saturdays we have our pieces to the puzzle, and that's a series that is going to be going on basically for the rest of the year. Right now we're dealing with Baba Marcus Garvey and his wife Amy Jacques Garvey within the opinions and philosophies of Marcus Garvey. I think we have about 2 or 3 more weeks in that study. And then we're going on to our baby Shahrazad Ali. So listen, if you haven't been a part of the first few pieces of the puzzle series, you still have time to make it into this one, as well as the others that are to follow. Alright? For those of you who did make it to historic Baintown, again we say Namastu. Namastu. And we are always grateful for those of you who took the time to fellowship with us this morning. Today, before we start, as always, we want to ask that those of you who have any portion of the original books of the Bible, whether it be Papyrus 1, which I'm holding in my book, in my hand right now, or the Barashit, which is the African book of Genesis, or the Istanjil, the book of Revelation from an African perspective, we ask that you now hold it high as our Minavizir, our dear sister, Aminet Hikaka, leads us in our supplication for the original books of the Bible.
Namaste, family.
Namaste.
I am an Atonus Karastian.
I am an Atonus Karastian.
And this is the original books of the Bible.
And this is the original books of the Bible.
It is the ancient African version of the scriptures.
It is the ancient African version of the scriptures.
It is a guide sent unto me.
It is a guide sent unto me.
It tells me how to live.
It tells me how to live.
It tells me who I am.
It tells me who I am.
And it tells me what I have the potential to become.
And it tells me what I have the potential to become.
This day I shall learn from it.
This day I shall learn from it.
And that which I learn shall strengthen me.
And that which I learn shall strengthen me.
And with that, I am grateful to Anere.
And with that, I am grateful to Anere. We as the true Hebrews say Amen. We as the true Christians say Amen. We as the true Musalam, those who are of peace, say Amen. And we as Atonus Christians, combination of them three, say Amun. Amun. We want to start today. Today's sermon is entitled You Trust in Oppression.
What?
You trust in oppression.
My goodness. I know.
Watch it, man.
And we do this in honor of our great Elder Shuaib, Elder Ma'atu. We're going to just take about 5 to 10 seconds of silence. And then we're going to take 5 or 10 seconds of clapping for our great elder who transitioned just yesterday. So with that, let us now honor his memory with a moment of silence. Transition well to the etheric realm, the realm of the ancestors.
Come on.
As he guides us now from the etheric realm and strengthens us.
Yes.
As we feel his resolve, we feel his tenacity, we feel the energy that he always had and continues to have, because energy what?
Neither lost nor destroyed.
Neither lost or destroyed. It simply does what?
Transferred from one person to the next.
He transferred into those of us who are of the Christ consciousness, and we are grateful.
Come on.
And so we're in a time whereby 10,000 strong are gathering.
Come on.
This is no hype. This is no gimmick.
Real.
This is no feel-good doctrine that would just advise you to pass over your funds so that the ministry can grow and we can continue to build bigger and bigger churches and buy bigger and bigger cars and buy bigger and bigger pieces of property, but not change the oppression that we as a people are suffering under. That's not what this is.
That's right.
Unfortunately, the hearts of many have been waxed cold.
Yes.
The book of Ma'atu, verse chapter 24 talks about. And because we have our cold hearts, we feel as our best solution is to just simply, as we say, look out for me and mine.
My goodness, dog eat dog world.
Dog eat dog world. Make sure that I'm good, make sure that my immediate family is straight, and to hell with everybody else.
Right?
No matter what I say through the day, no matter how much I ask people how they're doing, at the end of the day,
It's all about me.
it's all about me. It's all about keeping the status quo. It's about keeping a system that's built on lies functioning.
My goodness.
And so we suffer.
Yes.
And in our suffering, we say we're too blessed to be stressed. We lie to ourselves. We say what we feel needs to be said in order to perpetrate this lie.
Yes.
And the reason why we as the Holy Qubtic Church feel that it's important for us to touch on this particular topic today is because our people have gone through trauma. Everybody say trauma.
Trauma.
And because we've gone through a trauma, they say there's something wrong with black people.
My goodness.
They say, look at how late we always are. They say, look at how loud and how boisterous and how unkept, and you can list the different things that they say about us. But the fact of the matter is we're still here. And it's not that something is wrong with us. Something, what, my brother?
Something happened to us.
Something happened to us. And something continues to happen to us.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, this system that pretends that it cares for us, that pretends that it gives us the religion of the Most High, it pretends that it gives us the education of our great ancestors, it pretends that it gives us the things that are necessary for us to be the best that we can be. It pretends. But that's all it does, is pretend. Because the results don't show.
My goodness.
You lie to us. You give us books that are not the original books of the Bible, and you do so in a very plain way, because all of the Bibles that you give us say virgins. The King James Version. The New American Standard Version. The Mormon Version. The Jehovah's Witness Version. Version of what?
Exactly. Of what?
Of what? And I'm asking that because you're holding on to this version, and this version is what oppresses you. But you trust in oppression. We're in a day and time where we can no longer mince words.
That's right.
We never did around here anyway.
Come on.
But we need to understand the reality of what has happened to us.
Yes.
For thousands of years, we've been under oppression.
That's right.
And under this oppression, we've been told that in 1834 to 1838 thereabouts,
Yeah.
they said we received our emancipation. Yes? You're no longer chattel slaves. But even in them emancipating us, we were never liberated.
That's right. It's a difference.
As a matter of fact, they were busy making sure that the so-called slave masters, the oppressors, that are still oppressors today, were getting paid because they were losing their labor.
Compensated.
They were being compensated.
Still it.
London, the UK, they just finished paying that bill around 2015. Haiti still getting beat down by France,
Yep.
by the United States, Canada. The Bahamas is selling the aragonite right online. We have these so-called leaders who are telling us, oh, there's no value in it. Why would you keep an industry alive from the 1960s to now? There ain't no value in it.
Good shit. Right.
What was the point of that? But be stupid, you see? We trust in oppression. For those of you who trust in oppression, I pray today that you are offended.
Yes.
Because sometimes the only way to get through the people who are asleep is to offend them.
Yes.
You know, when you get a new phone and you try out the new alarms, and you have the ones with the little bird chirping. You say, let me try that one. You don't wake up one piece.
Still right through that.
All them birds do is filter into your dream. You be dreaming and sleeping with birds. And that's because that alarm didn't offend you. Huh? And then after you miss work or you late to your meeting, you say, man, give me a real alarm. Yeah, that's the one I want. That's the offensive one. Huh? And so you end up using that one.
That's true.
Because you ain't got time to play no more.
No.
I've been sorry, boss. I get a new alarm.
Fire me the next
It's a new alarm. That's why it's late. Birds.
The birds. Birds kept me
The
sleeping.
chirping
But what has kept us asleep and kept us trusting oppression is what's called wrong religion. Say wrong religion.
Wrong religion.
See, the conscious community today will say we don't need religion. And they will look at us in the Holy Qubtic Church and say, well, you know, you all teach that. They got some good brothers of mine who, you know, very smart, they're very educated, and they doing what they doing, and they say, well, Anku, you know, like what y'all doing. That's y'all gotta teach that. They can't teach that. They ain't touching that. No, and that's fine. That's totally fine. No ill feelings there, right? And it's important that we realize that our people have been in religion way too long for us to throw it away. I think it was Jomo Kenyatta and someone else who mentioned that we can't just throw away religion. Even the people who say that they ain't into religion, they still want naming ceremonies for their children.
And still want burial.
They still want burial. They still want marriage.
And wedding.
They want all of these religious ceremonies, but they ain't religious. Which shows us that even amongst those who say they completely disregard religion,
Yes.
they still holding on to it.
Yeah.
So either we need to separate wrong religion from right religion, or unbalanced religion from balanced religion, or we need to just don't have no naming ceremony, no marriage, no burial ceremony. All the people who say you don't have religion, when your loved ones die, take a hold, it's cheaper. Just dump them in.
Cheaper, you ain't got
I mean, what you worry about priests and chanting and what's all that for? Cry a little bit, take a hold, dump them in, you ain't got no religion.
Right.
Huh? Baby born, cut the biblical cord, pay them, and stamp a name on them, you name Bradley. That's your naming ceremony right there. But if I say that, now I'm the bad guy. Because that's what I can tell you, because they just call me, you see. They don't want to come to church, but they want to call me to do naming ceremony. To do wedding. We ain't into church, but we need you to come do wedding. Alright. And I know that it's because something happened to us.
Yeah.
So what is this term wrong religion in the parchment written by Al Sesh? Was God the first slave master? We touched on this last week or several weeks ago, right? Was God the first slave master? On page 51, the question is, what is meant by the term wrong religion? When we use the term wrong religion, that of which we speak teaches us that though those are the three sets of 12 invading dynasties of Europa, these Canaanites, these so-called white people, stole and attempted to model themselves after and utilize the template of Atonism, the original ancient African religious spirituality. They taught us that we didn't have no spirituality, that we were savages, that we didn't have any normalcy, no way. I mean, I don't imagine what did you find when you came to Africa? We was walking on our hands there. Just breathing through our toes. What we was doing?
Right.
Because there's proof of all this great stuff that we did, but our people don't want to look at that. We want to trust in oppression.
Right.
We want to make fun of our ancestors and say, well, thank the Lord that slavery happened so that I could know who Jesus Christ is.
But the proof is in their
Sick
museums.
mind.
We know the proof in their museums, the proof in their Bibles too.
Yeah.
They read it. But how do you say such blasphemous things?
Exactly.
You know what we went through to know about Jesus after he died for our sins.
My goodness.
How do you go through slavery after Jesus died for your sins? My daughter asked me that question, you know. I don't think I'm trying to be deep. My daughter asked me that question. She's 8 years old. I say, Daddy, Jesus died for everybody's sins. So why did we go through slavery? From the mouth of babes. That's a very good question.
Yeah, very good question.
We keep asking Jesus, but no answer. So they took our original template, best overstood as right religion. So we're going to make a declaration today. We have right religion.
Come on.
Now, if you don't have right religion, you have wrong religion.
Come on.
We're not playing this game that you're all about. Well, you know, there's only one God, and you say Namastu, and we say whatever we say, and you say Ane Ray, and we ain't playing that game. Because the Most High didn't play that game.
Come on.
Right.
The Most High didn't say, well, we all have one God. He said, no. There's only one true God.
Right.
I have no other God before me. So why are we playing this game that everybody is really worshiping the same God, but we're just doing it in different ways?
Right.
It's not what's happening. If that was what was happening, then you wouldn't care when we say the Black Messiah.
Right. Try to please the oppressor.
Yeah, you're trying to please the oppressor. Only people who are oppressed want to please the oppressor. Only people who are still dead see life as death. And the brother walked up to me and looked at the cruciform. He said, you know when they want to tell you what they really think, and they say other people have said it. You know, people say this is a symbol of death. They say that's true. Dead people say that. Because we are the first begotten of the dead. By way of the Christ consciousness. So this right religion, they did severely and purposely twist and alter almost all aspects of it in order to get it to conform to their savage, war cult mindset. This religion that we are holding on to today, that we're calling Christianity, is a savage war cult mindset. How do you know it's a savage war cult mindset? Because we started out by saying everybody is looking out for themselves. That's why the country could go to hell while we watching Netflix. Long as I have my gated community, once I have my yard and my pit bull and I can be safe, let them kill themselves.
That's true. That's true.
That's what you do in war. You hunker down and you let people kill themselves. And that's what this Greco-Roman form of Christianity does for us. It teaches us that we're not really connected as a people because of our race. As a matter of fact, let's remove race. We don't see color. That's what they say.
Yes.
Until you see, until it's not fake money. Yeah, let me give you one red marlin and see if you don't see color. We lying, y'all people who don't see color. You got a footprint on them. You can get the church fixing next week.
Yeah.
Just print me all kinds of different colors. Green, red, orange, yellow. Don't print no purple ones. Print all the colors around what color it's supposed to be. And all the people who don't see color, you need change. Y'all don't see color, right?
They see it.
They know they see it.
I tell white people that go to the black church, the church of the black Messiah, I watch their face, I watch their eyes.
Yeah, because they go to the church of the white Messiah. You ain't supposed to have what they have. You ain't supposed to love your ancestors like they love their ancestors. When they around here celebrating the leprechaun and St. Patrick's Day, we around here dyeing our hair green and running around like we know a leprechaun is real.
Exactly. At the end of the ring.
When they have a Memorial Day for soldiers, they have a whole cemetery for black people who died fighting on their behalf.
Right.
They have memorial obelisks. Tekendo, as we said, my great-grandfather built one of those memorials down there downtown for soldiers who died not fighting for their own people. That's what oppression does for us. We are celebrated anytime we sacrifice for other than self and kind.
Right.
They talk about love, but that queen down there in Washington Square, she got a sword in her hand. And that throne is sitting on two lions, the back of the lions, sitting on our backs. We still swear to her, her heirs, and her successors forevermore, because we love oppression. We love their lives. Yeah, what's going to make y'all smile is when I read the same thing I say out of the Bible. You think it's just me.
Come on.
Touch your nerves, Ka-Hun. Watch it, man.
If they got nerve, that means they're still alive. You got a chance. Got a chance. You know, when you on the table and you flatline, they don't tickle your toes.
No, sir.
They don't scream at you. They say, everybody move.
Clear.
Get them paddles. Get that charge up. And what you didn't clear me? Oh, because if you still touching that body, they gonna wake up and you going to sleep. And they spike you with that lightning to get that heart going again. Thus this wrong religion by right should henceforth be known and remembered as sect. Everybody say sect.
Sect.
Which is S-E-A, sect. Which means ignorant, blind faith. When you just accept something because your parents told you, and your grandparents told you, and your great-grandparents told you, and your friends tell you, and your church tell you, and your pastor tell you, and you don't check it out to see if it's real, that's called ignorant blind faith. When you are afraid, because you always have these questions, but you're afraid to ask it. How could you be a child of the Most High and you're afraid to ask questions? You can't ask your question to a pastor in front of everybody. If your pastor can't answer questions in front of the congregation, run. We could talk about that in my office. We could talk about it after everybody leaves. Because these pastors know.
Yeah. They don't want them to fool.
I know because they're my friends, some of them. And I just talk to them just like this. And I just watch them go, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, Anku, that's right. But they protecting their collection because they trust oppression.
My goodness.
They scared of persecution, but clearly they ain't scared of hell.
No. My goodness.
I'd rather go through persecution than hell, my brother. My sister. My sons, my daughters, my aunties. If you're afraid of persecution, you ain't fit for heaven.
My goodness. Come on.
It ain't me saying it. Pay attention to what happened to those who helped to build heaven on earth. Everybody that they claim, they talked about it last week, all the people they say they love, they call them terrorists. And kill them. Or kill their reputation. And then after they were gone, they started saying, oh, we love Martin Luther King. We love Mandela. Furthermore, wrong religion, regardless of name and packaging, is a two-faced and deceptive concept which causes people to blindly follow instructions and orders, all based on mind control and or manipulation without question, thought, or reasoning, which throughout history, the ruling time of the invaders, colonizers, and enslavers has led to countless wars, rapes, and massacres which continue on down through to this latter day. Where is God? Where is He? Meaning He could stop this mess and He ain't stopping it?
Wow.
If He could stop this mess and He ain't stopping it, He is malevolent.
Come on.
Silence makes consent.
If He is all powerful and He's allowing the craziness that's going on in this world to happen, then He must be working with the devil.
Come on.
You can't work with the devil and not be of the devil. Yes, we said it because it needed to be said. Many of you are worshiping the devil and calling it God. And with this wrong religion, by melanin recessive standards, everything that they teach you is by melanin recessive standards.
That's right.
See, racism, white supremacy says, don't call me melanin recessive, call me white. Because when I look up the definition for white, white is pure.
Yeah.
White is guiltless.
Yeah.
And I'll be white and you'll be black. And when you look up the word black, it's dirty, it's guilty, it's sin. So let's call it for what it
Melanin
is.
recessive.
You are melanin recessive.
This makes them feel inferior.
Genetics says that they are not dominant. See, us saying it, people say you hate on people, you call the people names. No, go talk to a geneticist.
It's real. True.
My first degree is in biology. Dr. Richardson at Tuskegee University, one of the first things she wrote on the board, genetics has nothing to do with race. There's dominant and there's recessive. So when you start talking about melanin recessive, it means that some people cannot produce melanin at the same rate of others.
Yeah.
And those people call themselves white. But the melanin recessive standards has been able to mentally enslave our people as their actual victims while beating us down in such a physically harsh and depraved manner so as to cause our very minds or psyches to be turned inside out, simply turned on ourselves. They say that we teach hate. Like Malcolm X said, who taught you to hate yourself?
Come on.
Who taught you to hate your hair?
Come on.
Who taught you to hate your nose? Who taught you to hate your lips?
Come on.
Who taught you to hate the image and likeness of your ancestors? So much so that when you put up a black Madonna, as they would say, people want to call it obeah. People want to call it voodoo. People want to call it whatever they think is negative. But that black Madonna look like your mother. So if that black Madonna, if that black Mary, if that black Mary is voodoo, if that black Mary is evil, so is your mother.
That's right.
Say it again, Ka-Hun. Wow.
Teach. Teach.
That's the dignified way of saying your mom.
Big nose to big lips. My goodness.
Huh? If something wrong with the black Messiah, something wrong with your pa.
Right.
If he black. I don't know how else to say it to you. Because you say, yeah, we know, yeah, we hear you. I got people who worshiping right now underneath a white statue that ain't even mentioned in the Bible, and they say, well, we know Jesus is black. What the hell you doing up under the white one then?
Right.
He's scared.
My goodness.
Following wrong religion.
All that oppression.
By way of such wrong religion has left members of the global Nubian Melaninite family in a state wherein we have over the last 400 plus years remained impoverished. Huh? Are you saved but you still impoverished? Huh? We are victims mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. That's not a sign of being saved. The scriptures say, he and she who endure to the end.
Exactly.
This idea that you saved in the middle of the war, you behind enemy lines. Nobody's coming to save you that ain't already here. You better get with self and kind.
My goodness.
That's why we don't talk about race economics. We don't talk about race religion. We talk about group economics. Because everybody in the race don't want to be a part of the group.
That's true. That's
We
true.
say this because by design, say design.
Design.
So don't say the system ain't working. The system is working exactly the way it was programmed and designed to work.
That's right.
We say this because by design, melanin recessive religions, be it Aryan Hinduism, Sino-Oriental, Confucianism and Taoism, Caucasian Anglo-Judaism and Christianity, or Indo-Arab and Pale Arab Emirate Islam, were originally designed to enslave and control their own respective peoples and lands. It's before they got to us. They set up religions to enslave themselves. We were the last people to get enslaved. That's what they taught me at Kingsway Academy. They said they tried to enslave the Indians, but they were dying out and they couldn't take the pressure. And they went around trying to enslave different people, and they said, you know what, let's try these Africans. And we wasn't dying as quickly. They said, oh good, let's get more. That's what they taught us. You understand? They taught us that. So these religions that they teach us about, they ain't talking about no God. They talking about their chieftains. The heads of their tribes. They talking about their leaders. They ain't have nothing to do with the Most High. How do you know it don't have nothing to do with the Most High? Look at your condition. Look at your condition. If your condition is a result of being in alignment with the Most High, then you would see results. We get results in the Holy Qubtic Church of the Black Messiah. You ask any of our members, they ain't got time for yourself no more, do you?
No.
Sir.
You too busy keeping up with results. You too busy learning. You too busy getting away from crazy. That's what a true religion is about. You gotta keep up. Because if we know if we slow down, you can go back to sleep. You can start resting on your laurels. You can start saying, oh, look at what we did. That's why we take pictures. So when we do get a chance to slow down, like, wow, we did that. I don't remember that, but wow, okay. Beautiful. Page 53, and it was God the first slave master. And it was able to do such by offering them in consolation those resources, foods, and achievements which their physical and geographical land and environments were unable to naturally provide. They created these religions to come into the lands of the indigenous people in order to get the resources, which they're still doing today.
Yes. Right now. This day. Right now.
You think it's about them worshiping God. They come in here to get your resources. They give you the Bible and they take the land. Huh? And in other words, wrong religion is based on make-believe. Oh my Lord. Make-believe. Did you say fairy tale?
Yep.
Simply melanin recessive children fairy tales, which have become adult religions, which have been made into dogmas and rituals used to tell each amongst them what to believe and what to practice in order to appease the minds of the backward and brute European warriors, something which has continually been needed in order to keep them functioning as a literally civilized group. They are civilized. We are cultured.
Right.
Because in order, if someone calls you civilized, it means at one point you were uncivilized. They didn't meet us uncivilized. They met us cultured. Watch how people classify you.
Right.
You understand? Without such, these melanin recessive people as sociopaths, as psychopaths, would have torn each other to pieces when there was no war to be fought. People to kill, persons to rape, and lands to attack. Our Basesh Hotep says, just move out of the way and watch them kill each other.
That's right.
Watch them run up into their own established governmental buildings and try to attack their leadership. Watch them do it. Huh? Watch them meet as the 7 strongest economies in the world and talk about how they're going to rebuild, while at the same time telling black Americans by 2053 your mean income will be 0. They're telling you what they're doing. They're putting you back in slavery. The prophecy will do what?
Continue.
It's going to continue until what? Until we get it right. Literally, this means that wrong religion from melanin recessive people was designed to function as a band-aid of sorts, meant to protect them from their own miscalled dark side, best called deranged side, by convincing each that there are certain things outside of one's control in order to make the believers feel that they are and must remain totally dependent on some unseen force for salvation or direction. So you're being taught about some devil while the devil's standing in the front of you, creating policy to create the environment for you to suffer. And instead of you looking at the devil and saying, no, thank you, devil, keep your devilishment, keep your religion, keep your education, keep your food, keep your clothing, keep all of your policies. Instead of you do that, you sit up underneath the devil and blame the devil.
My goodness.
Right. Don't make no sense.
Who you never seen. You never experienced this devil. Every time you start talking about this devil, it's some paranormal crap. But in your scripture says the devil has a seed.
Yes.
That word seed in the Hebrew is zera, but in the Greek, what's zera? In the Greek, it's sperma.
Yes.
You don't know what sperm is, you know what sperm is.
Yes.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
This devil walking around got you loving the fact that they're oppressing us. Yet the truth of the matter is that under the control of wrong religion, no member of the global Nubian Mennonite family can or will ever attain or achieve anything of real worth towards liberation, because wrong religion promotes ignorant obedience, useless hope, blind faith, and unreasonable concepts based on fantasy. Say fantasy.
Fantasy.
which are publicly taught in order to keep members of humanity wishing in vain for them to be true. Our imagination has been stolen. We have the image of another nation.
That's right.
We don't even know what we want.
That's right, but we might know.
That's why you watch sometimes on some of these channels, they talk about the lottery winners. And they be broke in 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
One woman, she was living on a dirt road. She buying a Lamborghini.
On a dirt road.
On a dirt road, the Quartos. And I don't mean just black people, I mean people in general.
Yeah.
Because they've given us this image of what we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
We drive through some of the so-called upper class communities, and they, I know there's a lady, every time we pass this particular house, she out there watering her grass, right? Or she watching her son water the grass. And I'm like, look what they did to us. She cannot eat that grass.
No.
No food.
No food planted anywhere.
That's grass.
Just right.
But you want grass. Why? This white man of
That's
grass.
ideal. Right.
White man said you must grow grass. You grow grass.
It's a sign of success.
I got a cousin up in Cleveland, Ohio. His wife sell all the grass and plant a garden.
Take all the grass
She ain't want no grass. My cousin Doc, I know you might be watching. Well, sister Anita don't play. She's like, no, move all the grass. We growing food.
Come on.
You go to their house, you gotta walk past food to get it out to the front door. See, look at the correct consciousness.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? Walk slow. Huh?
Same
Tornadoes crossing. Huh? Yeah, man.
That's wise.
But they've taught us to live like them. The result of wrong religion, especially as things pertain to members of the global Nubian Melaninite family, is that it leaves each in a position where we are living in the image and likeness of the beast. You trust oppression. You end up in the image and likeness of the beast, and you end up, unfortunately, doing as these enslavers have their own people act out, to the point that most amongst our racial family in this latter day actually living consciously or unconsciously in a habitually hypnotic and completely non-beneficial state, best called the majority rule.
Wow.
Because in 1834 they told you was emancipated. But not really till 1838.
Yeah.
And then in 1967 they say you had what? Majority rule. But then you still wasn't ruling, because 1973 you became independent.
You playing games?
No success.
Where are we?
No success within this system will last for you as a people. If you don't see it by now, because see, after 1834, that was supposed to be it. That's the only thing we're supposed to be celebrating.
Yes.
You don't have to celebrate independence after
And majority
emancipation.
rule.
How the hell you emancipated and you ain't independent?
And
How you emancipated and you ain't got majority rule?
Swing.
we get swing.
Huh? Now they saying, well, we have independence, but now we need economic independence.
Oh. Let's figure that out.
We got political independence, but we never got economic independence.
That's right.
Stop liking oppression. Stop trusting in and liking oppression. Huh? This majority rule is really mob mentality. It's really mob rule. Huh? Which is actually dictated within society as a whole by the few amongst the elitists, making it all but impossible to distinguish between those who believe and those who do not believe, especially the military personnel who fill the ranks of their respective war cults. Because people could dress any way and carry on any kind of how and say, no, I'm a Christian. Hey, you know me, I'm crazy. Just go to any bar. Because I just talk to people. I ask my wife, I just talk to anybody. I just talk to them. Just go sit around and listen to the conversation a little while. And this question, how many Christians we got in the house today? I can do it. I can tell you what I do.
Everybody.
Some can tell you, well, I ain't into that church thing, but if you probe them.
When you're on a long line,
Okay, they'll tell you they ain't into the Bible, right?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do this in public because they may string me up, right? I might do it, I don't know.
Depends on how you feel.
Because I'll get a Bible and say, so you don't believe in this, right? Because you're a Christian, right?
throw it on the ground.
You don't believe in it, right? You watch all them people who say they don't believe in it. Postman,
I get that at work.
you can't do it. But you don't believe in it. You don't believe in it. Y'all don't believe in it, right? You do believe in it. Huh?
Wow.
Love and trust oppression. Let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 30. And for those of you who are on Facebook, we thank you for joining us. And if you want the remainder of this sermon, just please reach out to us on our Facebook page, and we'll be happy to assist you with getting the full sermon. Namaste to those on Facebook. All right?
Isaiah 30.
And I think we just started at